world. It developed in Pleistocene time period, almost 2 lakh year ago. Almost 2 lakh year ago. So actually this depositional plain, Ganga plain, let's come over to, we have three actually fluvial system. Fluvial system in India is developed by the Himalayan rivers. Some of the rivers are the one which originated from Tibetan plateau, and they cross the Himalayas and they bring lot of sediments, because Himalaya is composed of sedimentary rocks, loose rocks, brittle rocks, mudstone, sandstone, shale, limestone, all very fine material, easy to erode. So it is easy to erode. हिमालय को तो तुरंत बहुत कमजोर रॉक्स हैं, टूट जाती हैं, they are liable to erode. So they are transported variety of material, variety of debris. So this panplain is deposited by three rivers. Three river systems. One is called Indus River system, another is called Ganga River system, and third is called Brahmaputra River system. And all these three rivers, they deposit the sediments. Sediments are, which are the sediments? Sediments are maybe boulders, pebbles, gravels, cobbles, then sand, then silt, then clay. These are the three important, these are the different constituents of the sediments which deposited. Actually, between the peninsular plateau and the Himalayan system or the Tibetan plateau, again it was the shallow sea called Tethys Sea. It was the Tethys Sea. Later this Tethys Sea was filled mainly by the Himalayan rivers and partially by the peninsular rivers. Can you name some peninsular rivers which drain into the Tethys Sea or later they form the Ganga plain? Chambal, Son, so many rivers. I told you the north flowing rivers of peninsular plateau, mainly from central foreland, they all deposit their sediments, but they bring lesser amount of sediment because this is igneous rock. This peninsular plateau is composed of igneous and later metamorphic rocks, hard to erode, but this is all sedimentary rocks, loose rocks, sandstone, shale, mudstone or limestone. So this is composed, this is deposited with the sediments, all the sediments brought by here. Now there is always an arrangement. Suppose a river entered to the plain, so it entered to the plain here from the Himalayas. The erosion will take place, no deposition will take place here because steep slope is fast, velocity is fast. So whatever the material, it is only erosion, no deposition takes place. Then here the deposition takes place in the form of big boulders. You know, when Ganga entered to the plain near Rishikesh, you can find, kabhi koi gaya hai Rishikesh? Have you ever been to Rishikesh? Till you can say upper course beyond Rishikesh there is no deposition. The big boulders are visible in Ganga here and there around Rishikesh. Then smaller and smaller and smaller. Near Haridwar you will find only small cobbles, छोटे पत्थर, the egg-shaped stones, small stones. They are called cobbles and pebbles and gravels. I said pebbles. Yes. Small stones of egg-shaped, rounded, and since they are rolling down, and then it is called coarse sand. Coarse sand will be deposited here. Then beyond आगे में fine medium sand, then fine sand, then it is silt, and in the delta part, when this river enters to the sea, it is only clay. So clay is the finest material, could remain in suspended order for longer time in the river. जो सबसे महीन, this clay is chalk, the dust of this chalk is clay, which is in my fingers, and I cannot experience on my fingers, I can see only the color. So the finest material. Then you can ask what is sand, what is silt, and what is clay. So it is basically the sand, the you can say diameter of sand. The diameter of sand is 1 mm, up to 1 mm, sorry, up to 1 mm. Any sand particle which is having diameter of 1 mm is called sand. Then the silt is having 1 mm to 0.002 mm. It is silt. And any material, finer metal, clay, less than 0.002 mm is called clay. So these are the different nomenclature for measurement of the different particles. So this, if you see the Himalayan plains, they are composed of, when we are closer to the Himalayas, we have the coarser material. As we go away from the Himalayas, metal becomes finer, and near the mouth of the rivers we have the finest soil. So this soil, here whatever the material they compose, it is all, coarser metal is always porous and finer metal is always impervious. So they have more water retention capacity, they have less water retention capacity. So this plain formation is composed of mainly sand, silt and clay. Sand is of different type of sand, coarser sand. All the alluvial fan, when a river enter to the plain, it make a alluvial fan. Sand spread over in the shape of the fan, and it is always a coarser sand. So coarser sand makes the alluvial fan. So from Haridwar, when river enter to the plain, all Bijnor, Haridwar and Saharanpur is basically spread over on coarser sand and on the alluvial fan. So this is then it is the fertility of the soil also changes. It's less fertile, it is more fertile because it is having more. This is impervious, and it can retain the nutrients along with. So this is the plain. So we have three river system which constitute. So this Tejas is uniformly plain with almost negligible slope gradient. On the basis of slope gradient, we can divide the Indian drainage system or the North Indian plain into three parts. Like, let me come over to the first. Ganga plain. Ganga plain is, you can say, upper Ganga plain. Or it is also known as Ruhelkhand plain. Upper Ganga means all very close to Himalayan foothills in the Tarai region, and the close to the Tarai, that is the you can say Pilibhit or Bareilly and Shahjahanpur, and this region is known as Ruhelkhand region. And in Ruhelkhand, the most important is the slope gradient. Slope gradient is 50 to 35 centimeter per kilometer. So this is the slope gradient. In 1 kilometer course, slope declined by 50 centimeter maximum. 50 centimeter means half meter. So it is half meter slope decline, slope gradient. It is less than 1 degree of, originally it is like this. Suppose this is 1 kilometer here up to this point, and this slope decline is by 50 centimeter in 1 kilometer. That's why this is slope decline. This is called slope gradient. So this is the slope gradient, very gentle slope gradient. I hope you came to know. So it is composed of the sandy material, coarser material. It is located on the alluvial fans. All sand, coarse sand, medium sand and fine sand. And the second plain is called Middle Ganga plain. Middle Ganga plain. It is also known as Awadh plain. Awadh plain is basically which constitute Awadh to Magadh, the entire area of eastern UP and Bihar, northern Bihar, where slope gradient is how much it was 35 S slope gradient 35 to 10 centimeter per kilometer. So what happened? The speed of the water or flow of water becomes very low. So that's why I told you earlier, the velocity of water determines the carrying capacity of the sediments by the river, by the water. Faster the flow, more the suspended metal can be transported. Lesser the flow, lesser the capacity to carry the suspended material. So जब sediments को ढोके चलती है river, like Ganga at Allahabad, if you go to the center of Ganga, आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इतना ही पानी मिलेगा, 3 feet, maximum 4 feet, उससे ज़्यादा. But all the time flow of Ganga is so fast, आपके पैरों के नीचे से sand तुरंत निकलता जाएगा. And color of Ganga is perfectly yellow, full of sediments because flow is fast. But if you see Yamuna is 40 feet deep at Allahabad, and there is no suspended material visible. Water looks like perfectly blue in color. If you throw a 51 rupee coin, you can see in Yamuna. Yamuna is perfectly pristine at Allahabad because its flow is almost negligible. They don't have suspended material. So whatever the suspended material is there, it is subsided in the bottom of the river course. So all the time, these every year they have a flood plain. It's spread over their sediment. So every year lamina upon lamina of sediments deposited in its area in the form of flood plain. So this is only 35 to 10 centimeter slope gradient. And the third is the lower Ganga plain. And the third plain is, I am talking about the lower Ganga plain. Lower Ganga plain, and this lower Ganga plain means Gangia plain, Bengal plain, which is located in Bengal and Bangladesh, or you can say all Bengal plain, means Bengali speaking people where they live, Bengal plain, and they have slope gradient. Slope gradient is 0 to 10 centimeter per kilometer. So slope gradient is almost negligible. And here what happened? When there is flow of the river is almost negligible. So instead of flowing water in one channel, water divided into different channels. So river make a kind of deltaic formation and it divided into many branches. They are called distributaries. So here in the Himalayan system, they have the tributaries. It collects the water. But before joining the sea, river divided the water into different branches. They are called distributaries. So they have all distributaries. So distributaries, they form the delta. So delta formation takes place in the Bengal plain. So river divided into many branches because slope is almost 0 centimeter. Whatever they carry, they have the lateral movement. Water move not straight, water moves laterally here because slope is negligible. So in such condition, only the finest material left behind. This number one is upper Ganga plain is composed of basically from sand. Middle Ganga plain is composed of mainly, tell me, silt. And the lower Ganga plain is mainly composed of clay. This is the three: sand, silt and clay. You can say the lower portion is composed of the clay. So Ganga have three plains. Simultaneously we have Punjab plains. Now this is the map. Later I will construct the map of this region. Or should I? I'll construct the map later. Plains are the featureless topography. They are perfectly uniformly plain. Depositional plain, fluvial plain, pen plain are the featureless topography. Penny plains have obstructions, but they are horizontally deposited finest material, whether sand, silt or clay. So they have only rivers, imprints of river meandering. They have isolated oxbow lakes. They have few bluffs. Bluff means on the margin of river, the natural embankments, and they have sand mounds. When river makes the curvature, river makes the meandering, sand is accumulated in the central part. You know, when the meandering takes place, sometimes this is a big sand mound accumulated here in the meandering of river. This is called sand mound. And here you can say sandbar. And the small sand is called sand point. When river meanders, it makes different type of the sand in the central part, in its concave region. यहाँ बड़ा सा sand mound, sand bar, छोटा सा sand का point होगा meander में, that is called sand point. So sometimes these sand mounds, points, bar make some obstruction. बस इससे ज़्यादा, these obstructions are up to 2 meter, 3 meter, 5 meter maximum. They don't have the obstruction more than 5 meter. That's why I said these are the featureless topography. Sand mounds, there are only few sand mounds, oxbow lakes and bluffs. See the nature of meandering, I missed it. When a river enter to the plain, say this is mountain and river enter to the plain. यहाँ से river once the river comes here, let me construct river from here only. यहाँ से इस point से जब river plain यहाँ आएगी, when the river will enter to the plain, it will divide into many branches. Once the river is one, once it entered into the plain, it divided into many branches and it makes the alluvial fan. Again river becomes one, and one it is here, and beyond a particular limit, river started making delta. See the meandering here, and after meandering, river divided into the delta and formed so many distributaries. So mountain, alluvial fan, river makes the alluvial fan, mountain, alluvial fan बन गया, Then straight flow, like up to Kanpur there is no meandering in Ganga. But beyond Kanpur to Patna, it started gradually meandering. And beyond Patna, it making zigzag appearance. And beyond, once it entered into the Bangladesh, it divided into the many branches. So it formed the delta here. So this is the nature of meandering. And when the river formed the deposited plain, how it looked like, and on what different nomenclature we came to know about the different name of the river. Like when the river Brahmaputra entered from Arunachal Pradesh to the plain, when river Brahmaputra entered from Arunachal Pradesh and it crossed the Pasi Ghat and entered to the plain, it divided into branches, many branches. It looks like a delta. But again it becomes one river. Once it reaches to the Dibrugarh, cross 100 kilometer, it becomes one river. So that was the alluvial fan reason. So I can show you some photographs. Next time in projector I will show you the different photographs I have taken from the aircraft. ऊपर से मैंने ही जो फोटोग्राफ लिए हैं आपने, I'll show you sometime over the Pasi Ghat and Dibrugarh how it looks like Brahmaputra. Sometimes it is known as the inland delta. This is the coastal delta. It sometimes makes the inland delta. It looks, because slope gradient is almost negligible. When a river, always once a river is in plain, sorry, it is like this. It is all plain. This is the channel of the river, and both the side of the river, this is all plain. Wherever the water channel is there, this is the channel of the water. And this is natural embankments. You can say natural embankment. Both the sides of the river have the natural embankment. Like if this embankment looks like this, this is one, this is. If river is meandering, this also meanders like this. So this embankment changes. Wherever this river moves, water moves, it makes the embankment. These embankments are also known as levees. These are the natural barriers on both the sides. During monsoon season or rainy season, when this embankment is full of water, water comes out of it. And it will spread here up to this area. Suppose water spread up to this area, this is known as the floodplain. And water spread up to here, up to this area, it is known as the floodplain. And this floodplain, every year, flood में पानी आएगा बहुत तेजी से आएगा. When the water will come, it will come with great velocity. More the velocity means water is carrying more the suspended material, maybe silt and clay. And once it is full, what happened? Water calmed down. Once water calmed down, what happened? This area will find a finest layer of sediment. So every year, this area receives layer upon layer of a finest sediment in the form of sand, silt and clay, and always the floodplain receive the increase their height gradually by centimeter or by millimeters, by 1 millimeter every year maybe. So this is called floodplain. But beyond, suppose flood can come up to this area. Beyond this area is known as Bangar region. Beyond this, where flood water cannot reach, that area is known as Bangar region. This is also alluvial Bangar. B-A-N. This is Bangar. This is old alluvial deposit. This is also deposited by river, but earlier. Old alluvial deposits are Bangars, and new alluvial deposits are Khadar. So these are known as the Khadar plain. So all flood plains are known as the Khadar plain. So between two rivers. Suppose this is one river and another river is coming here. So what you call this area? This area is called Doab. Doab means this area also they have the flood deposited up to here. This area deposit the flood. So this Doab formation takes place between the two rivers. Ab is a Arabic word that means water. Means water between two rivers. This area is encircled by the two rivers. So Doab region. In Punjab you have Doaba region, Ganga Yamuna Doab region. So this is the Doab, the central area. This plain region is Doab region. So this is the basic conceptual clarity of the Ganga plain. Tomorrow I will take Punjab plain and the Brahmaputra plain, and after that I'll switch over to your next topic, that is the climate of India. So let me stop it here only. Thank you very much for this class.